Well, you're Jake, and it's a Kuchernuk?
Yeah, you can bet I get that a lot. It's Kuzarak. So
Kudra.
yeah,
And what's the heritage of that?
it's Ukrainian. So
Ukrainian. Well, I'm Slovak. You think I'd at least get through that a little better,
yeah,
but
no,
I
it's
wasn't born
definitely
there. But actually, Zach, yeah, we just talked to Zach, and he told us the truth about you. So he said we better have to be very careful talking to
great,
you.
great. Well,
So,
what I love to
so,
hear.
yeah, so you guys found each other at the 500 startups. Like you were with another startup, right? That wasn't as
Exactly.
successful at this one, and you guys partnered up on this. Is that how it went?
Exactly. Yeah. No, I was with a previous company called Council FM, which did electronic music. It was
Ah,
kind of like a music discovery app. And as you can imagine, making money on in music and digital rights, I mean, you're going to get sued once or twice. So licensing became a big issue for us, and when I merged from one passion to another, music, and then now fashion,
fashion.
ties, neckwear, menswear, and we really built something special.
Well, I think so. I mean, to me, for 10, 20 bucks or whatever, I can wake up every morning and really have access to 1,000 ties.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
exactly.
just terrific. I mean, what a better way to share resources like this, because I got ties that are sitting up there. I don't know how old they are there,
Oh,
and I've been around here for 70 years. And but bow ties you got. I mean, talking to him and
yes.
jewelry and
Oh yeah. Bow
pocket
ties.
hankies and watches. Those watches are really something. Where'd you
Thank
find those things?
Thank you. Throne Watches out of New York City. They're
Really?
really innovative guys. They're doing their own current line right now, but in the past they've found older, classic watches, maybe some old Rolexes or some
Uh-huh.
fun ones from like the 80s or 90s, and then they pair them with great handmade leather bands
I
to
see.
kind of have the best of both worlds.
So in other words, they actually take the old watch and recondition it and put a new
Exactly.
band? Yeah. Ah,
Exactly.
no,
Yeah.
they look gorgeous. Yeah, and
Exactly.
that's what they're those elegant watches. Instead of those, everybody's wearing a big sport watch. You think they're they're keeping their blood pressure instead of telling time. Yeah.
Yeah, or Star Trek or something.
Right.
But
Exactly.
no, they're fast. They've been a really big hit, and moving into different accessories has been a
Yeah.
great pursuit. Tie
Yeah.
bars, pocket squares, cufflinks, and we've seen a great response.
Well, I mean, also he was telling me about the 500 startup thing. I mean, that sounds terrific. So for a little piece of your company,
Sure.
you get all this talent, you get a place to work, and help to grow into something you probably never believed would happen.
Oh yeah, yeah. You give them a small percentage in exchange. They give you the money you need to really start your company.
Wow.
I think one of the understated, components of 500 startups is actually the mentors and the advisors there. People don't realize the value that they really have. Not only are you dealing with guys who've seen it all before and can answer any questions, but many of them grow to become potential investors in your company or even just good
Ah.
friends.
They could also save you 100 phone calls and point you to the right place, right?
Exactly, exactly. I could scour email all day and search around for the right answer, but nothing's better than tapping the guy next to you on the shoulder and getting
Right.
the advice you need.
Oh, so are you still in that space?
No, we're no. 500 Startups is actually down in Mountain View, California.
Uh-huh.
And since we finished up our with their accelerator batch, I moved up to San Francisco, and Zach and the rest of our team went back to DC.
I see. So how long are you usually in the accelerator program?
It's just a handful of months. It's usually around 4 months.
I see. Oh, cool.
So
Ah,
you get well entrenched in the Silicon Valley culture,
right.
and it's just a great way of introducing anybody with a developing idea, to the resources you need to make it to the next level.
Well, in doing something like ties, did you feel insecure because the guy next to you was some Silicon Valley, PhD physics or something, inventing a new cure to cancer or something like that?
Yeah, we definitely see that. Out here we definitely get asked. When we say that we're Netflix for ties, people are like, "Oh, so you're doing streaming video for Thailand?" And I'm just like, "No, no, I
You're
think
gonna.
Netflix would do that, but yeah, we always like to specify Netflix for neckties. But
I,
you'd be surprised. Bow ties are popular out here.
hey, oh,
We have
really?
Yeah, yeah, I know you know a thing or two about bow ties, but you'd be really surprised. There's a lot of guys out here who, are really working to, kind of create their own brand and
Yeah.
really get their own persona going. and having a stylish appearance is what separates them.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys have taken, they've raised millions of dollars for their company, and spent, haven't really spent too much of it on themselves. But
Right.
companies like
And
Tie
I'd still
Society,
wear a hoodie, right?
exactly, yeah, Zuckerberg style. But people don't know. People don't realize he actually wore a tie every single day for a full year a couple of years ago.
Oh, he did? Really?
Yeah, he did.
Wow.
He wanted to show everybody that he was serious, and
I see.
it's definitely
Yeah.
a move that people out here understand and respect. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many guys go into a boardroom in t-shirts and flip flops,
Yeah.
and get shown the door. I mean, you gotta go in there and show you're serious too.
No, I believe, and actually, the more people get casual, the more I sort of feel I want to dress up. Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, it's a way to stand out, and it's all about marketing yourself. So to be a a product that you're selling yourself all the time, and I think if you're that way, it's easier to stand out in the crowd because everyone's such a sloppy dresser.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, hey, the old adage always is, dress for the job you want, not the one you have.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out here that want to just keep rising up in the ranks, and having a strong personal brand is the best way to do it.
No, I think so. And how is your study? I mean, were you business major, or how'd you get into all this stuff?
Sure. Yeah, I studied both business and public policy at Indiana University. Yeah, I was there. I know you
At
went
where?
to
What university?
Indiana University.
Indiana. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So how come
But you
you're
were,
out there? You're a public policy guy. Yeah. Why aren't you in Washington here with Zach?
No, it's actually something I definitely considered. But I think what I liked about the most about public policy is that you're selling an idea, not a product.
Yeah.
And having Tie Society and having my own opportunity to have my own, with my own company,
Yeah.
it really affords me that same joy.
Now, before the last startup, what kind of businesses were you in before that?
Well, I actually graduated in 2011, so I hadn't had much.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have much time in the scene. But I did commercial real estate for a little while. I also did some some sales work as an account manager out here in San Francisco. But startups, they're my lifeblood.
Really?
They get me so
Nothing like
excited.
it. It's like having a garden. You see your own, the fruits of your own labor.
Yeah, exactly. When someone compliments me, or if I'm on, I'm outside a bar or something, and someone approaches me on the street, and they ask what I do, and I say Tie Society. Oh my God, hearing that somebody just even knows my company,
Yeah.
it's like hearing my child did well in school.
I know.
It's an
Oh, man. I
opposite.
used to kill for that, right? And actually, now that a lot of people know me, walk down the street, man, I'm so gracious when they do that and appreciate it because I know it'll go in an instant. But more so, I remember back at your age, I would have killed for that.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure you have no trouble with people recognizing you on the street.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Jake, and it's so nice to see you guys and you got together and you're going to solve the tie problem and also put a little class back in the workforce, which I think we needed. So.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. Definitely.
And next, come out with more pink jackets.
Yeah, we actually have a couple guys that we've been speaking with about
Really?
getting in some more. Yeah, we've been getting in some
Right,
more.
wonderful.
More
I walked
ideas.
into Zara yesterday, and I got, this beautiful, bright yellow, school bus yellow, casual jacket, not a whole lot of, what do you call it, structure in it at all that I have to take down and get question marks on, so I better run.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, turquoise is definitely, in my opinion, going to be the color for this spring. Turquoise and mustard yellow again.
Ah, mustard yellow, right. Well, I have a turquoise one of those. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Jake.
Absolutely.
Take care,
It was
you
a pleasure
guys.
speaking with you.
All right. Well, you're Zach Gittens, and actually you're part of a song and dance team from the Catskills, and your buddy is Jake. Is it Kuzarak?
Yes, Kuzarak.
Kuzarak, okay, Jake Kuzarak. But you guys invented something that's just out of this world, at least for me, for a fashion junkie. TieSociety.com. And you're making it possible for the average guy or woman, I guess, who likes ties. I see a lot of women dressing like that, right? Because it's sort of cool. And Annie Hall look, that she wears those ties. Yeah. That really, you have 500 and soon you're going to have 1,000 ties that everybody has access to, like for $10 or $20 or whatever, and you'll never see, two ties again, I mean, it's amazing. So this is part of the shared society. Is this what they call it, or what?
Yes,
niche.
no, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Or what is the other word they like to use?
Community.
It's the consumer society.
I see. Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Or prosumer
yeah, there you go.
is what I hear a lot. But really, it's a unique idea. A unique idea. So you could have access now. Any man or anybody interested in ties, you send them, 1, 3, 5, or how many they want for the month, I guess, and you keep them as long as you want, and or send them back as often as you want, and you pay the postage and everything. So all my tie buying, but most likely, I would think you just save a ton of money doing this stuff. You know.
Oh yeah, no
Yeah.
question, no question. We save the average tie costs about $45 to $60
Wow.
per tie for the individual, and so we just wanted to sort of democratize style and give people an online closet of ties for less than that. If you're wearing
right.
ties on a regular basis, you can wear a different tie every day for the rest of the year through
Wow.
using our service for less than it would cost you to buy half of them.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean that's what I can't get over is that really you have access. It's like owning a men's store that you just, well, I'm going to dress today, and I just go down to the store and pick out, the cool tie for the day, at just a fraction of the cost. I mean, the sharing economy like that. I was reading about, look, automobiles, we only use the automobile like 20%, 80% of the automobiles just sitting there doing nothing. So you got the same with ties. So they're doing nothing at your place, but everybody's switching them around and gets the variety of all these ties. A wonderful idea. So what got you into this? Why did you start this?
It's funny. It was one of those things that just started out of a natural need. Fresh out of college, I was wearing ties and suits and ties all the time for work as a management consultant. I also had about 8 different friends who were in the same line of work, wearing the same suits and same ties. What we found was that while my friend might go to Brooks Brothers and spend $85 on that new tie that he can wear to work for that week, one day that week, then he can't wear it for the next month because he already shown that he has it.
Right.
And we were all in the same book and realized that there is some value to having a sort of broad range of professional workwear. And so we decided to start trading ties amongst each other locally. And then once we saw that it was actually working and people were getting there's a really good value to that service, we decided to just create it and make it something that was available to people online, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
So you're not just a bunch of young guys hate to make a commitment to a tie, right?
Yes, exactly.
You're just interested in fashion and want to show other people you're interested in. But you have other stuff too. I mean, your pocket hankies like you're wearing, you have watches, jewelries, and bow ties, man. Yeah, the color too. I mean, all your ties. I go through there was a bright orange, and then you have a bow tie with like, this part is one fabric, and then the knot is another fabric. Man, I never seen that. I love that. I used to buy long ties like that, and now that's why I got to go on your site, have to join, so I get to use that tie. Because that's a killer tie, bow tie.
Yeah, those are some of my favorites. I love those.
Yeah.
That's one of those things we learned that was, over time, that was one of the great things about our service that we hadn't even intended. It gives you a chance to sort of explore your own style, find the new things, something that you might not immediately buy if you were in the store, but you'd like to wear to see whether it works.
Right.
So
like going on a few dates before you get married, huh? Right?
Exactly.
But also you were involved in something called 500 Startups. So when you were starting this thing, you were trying to find venture capital or whatever it is to kick your butt down the road so you're more successful. And you ran into this 500 startup business. And what did that do for you?
Yeah, so it was great. When we were here in D.C., when we first started, just a few weeks out, then I went to a local D.C. startup event, and while I was there, I had a chance to just come up to the podium and just tell people what I was working on at the time, as many other people do at that event. And one of the individuals in the audience was the principal to the fund of 500 Startups, which is a startup incubator based out of California. They now have offices in New York, San Francisco, and I know they have a couple international offices that they're working on expanding to also. And it's a great company. They, for a certain size of investment into your business, they will give you a desk space around other young companies that are just burgeoning. They'll have a lot of business professionals and sort of startup professionals come in and speak to you. And you get to work with them for about 3 to 4 months. And then you sort of go on and continue to build your business.
Wow. And they hold a little share of your company?
Yes, they do take a small share, but it's nominal.
Really? Oh, how
Yeah.
terrific. So I mean, that's another thing people I'm sure don't know about. I think I read about that, something like that somewhere. But that, I mean, in all these cities and things like that, that's terrific. So your other buddy, now you're in Washington, D.C., and Jake is in Silicon Valley. Now we're going to talk to Jake. He's waiting on the line, so I'm going to hang up with you and talk to Jake and see the real truth about you, if you would.
Great. It was great to get a chance to talk to you.
Oh,
Thanks a
my
lot.
pleasure. Well, I'll see you around town.
All right. Yes, definitely. I'll come say hi.
Okay.